Where is Celso? Marisa, please.
Thank you very much. I don't want to take time because it was not prepared that I would participate in this meeting. But I want to thank Celso particularly because he talked to me. And I want to thank Alexander and Anna Condesati for their encouragement. If I have I've just will say something about what's going on in Argentina. We are working in La Plata River Basin since 1998, taking our first project due to the floods of Paraná River in the area of the province of Entre Rios and Corrientes. At that time, Red Cross International was very, very effective, talking about the effectiveness that Alexander mentioned in his speech. Very effective in helping us to build up a multi-specialist team that they brought from Europe, and they prepared a contingency plan that still works for all that area, and it's very useful and utilized by all governments of Misiones, Entre Rios, and Corrientes, and even Buenos Aires. This was a real, measurable thing. Another main project we have is the conflict situations in the Plata River Basin, starting in the year 2000 with the problem of La Plata River with Yacyretá Dam. At that time, many conflicts were in that area between Argentina and Paraguay, and during 2 years we worked with them and solved most of the problems they had up to the moment that the government could handle this situation again without the previous problems of cuts of woods and claims that people were clearly having with the government. On the other hand, nowadays, we worked for more than 2 years with the conflict between Argentina and Uruguay, conflict because of Pondias, a paper mill enterprise that was built in the river, in the Uruguay River, and we think we help a lot to give some credibility to the measurements of how much this establishment would damage the environment or not, and the result was there were no damage to the environment, and that was taken by the International Court of The Hague, and because of that, Uruguay has been clear to have the plants there, and it was clear that Argentine petition was disregarded because of that. Our major issue now is to work together with Brazil. Brazil is no doubt the main country in the area. Brazil has a lot to teach us, we have a lot to learn. Brazil changed a lot, and the basin will be, of course, the source of development and the source of problems. And that is why we are wanting to work so closely with Green Cross Brazil, with the Rotary Club in Brazil, and with all the whole stakeholders here in order to build up a stronger cooperation. On principles, we are waiting in order to have the support from Red Cross International that will allow us to give a big support to schools that were hit by the volcano in the area of Patagonia in the province of Chubut, in which people is really going under a terrible situation without water, because the water is polluted because of the sun rays. And what they need now is water and sanitation as a must. So thanks a lot, and I give the floor.
Celso, esperamos agora que você faça.
Como esse painel se conduziu, eu acho que a primeira proposta que foi apresentada pelo senhor Alexandre Botal mostra a grande responsabilidade que a Green Cross Internacional tem assumido com várias regiões do planeta. Sobretudo, eu gostaria de falar muito sobre os programas que estão sendo desenvolvidos na América do Sul, principalmente nos países da Argentina e do Brasil. Na Argentina e Brasil, nós temos desde o início compartilhado a oportunidade de trabalharmos a grande bacia do Rio Paraná Prata. Nesse mesmo contexto, nós estamos trabalhando toda essa bacia há muitos anos, inicialmente quando fui convidado para vir a fazer parte da Green Cross. Esse trabalho já havia sido iniciado pela nossa amiga Marisa Lienza. Então nós aumentamos essa possibilidade para que toda a bacia do Prata pudesse ser um grande projeto da Green Cross Brasil com os demais países. Então trabalhamos muito com a região central do Brasil, na cidade de Frutal, que é o grande divisor de águas do Brasil, e trabalhamos toda a bacia de Frutal até a foz do Rio Paraná. Todos os nossos projetos estão sendo multiplicados e organizados em parceria com a Argentina, Brasil, Paraguai, Uruguai e Bolívia, que são os países que estão presentes na gestão dos recursos hídricos da Bacia do Prata. A Green Cross tem colocado, então, como objetivo principal essa questão de recursos hídricos da Bacia do Prata. Nós teríamos muito prazer em que os senhores pudessem oportunamente nos visitar em Brasília para que nós possamos eventualmente criar oportunidades outras em regiões brasileiras. Agradeço muito. A Green Cross Brasil está aberta para qualquer oportunidade de cooperação com os senhores. Muito obrigado.
Está aberto o debate, a plateia poderá formular perguntas, repito, em português ou em inglês. Em português ela será traduzida pela nossa querida assistente, porque infelizmente os painelistas não falam português. Está aberto, por favor, é só se manifestar quem desejar questionar na mesa. Alguma pergunta? Nenhuma pergunta?
Eu tenho.
Pois não, Lúcia.
A Luciana pode me ajudar? Eu gostaria de dirigir uma pergunta para o senhor, presidente da Alexandre, que o desde o começo do mundo, o poder está nas mãos dos governos.
Since the beginning of the world, the power is on the hands of the government. The power
To do anything.
The power to do anything.
A nossa história está dividida em eras, idade média, idade antiga.
And our history is divided in eras. So the Middle Age and the Contemporary Age.
E essas divisões importantes foram feitas com revoluções.
And these divisions were made by revolution.
Força.
And power and strength.
Agora,
And now,
nós precisamos que os governos façam alguma coisa, ou precisamos de uma revolução. E como é esta revolução? Ela precisa partir de organismos, ou é uma revolução que as pessoas vão fazer? Entendeu, Luciana? Essa revolução que vai acontecer, ela só pode ser feita pelos organismos, pelas instituições e pelos governos, ou nós vamos poder mudar mudando a nossa atitude?
so what should we do? Should we just stay and wait for the government to do anything, or should we do like we have done in our history of the world, do the revolution and take some arms and do anything within organizations or within the society?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. But you're taking some risks with this question. I'm a historian, so it might take a long time to answer.
It's more Marxist.
Okay. You touched upon an extremely interesting and important issue. You know, Herbert Wells said famously that the history of humankind is the race between inevitable apocalypses and education. I would say that in order to understand your question correctly, I will need to go a little bit into philosophy. What is human being? What is man? The first time this question was put forward in ancient Greece by Plato, almost 2,500 years ago. And he rushed with the conclusion. He said that a man is a vertically walking animal, walking on two legs without feathers. Of course, Diogenes, who lived at the same time, could not miss an opportunity to mock on godly Plato, so he plucked a rooster, took it and walked along the streets of Athens saying, "Look, this is the Plato's man." Well, let's skip a couple of millennia. But in the 20th century, one of the last, let me say, the real philosophers in the traditional school of philosophy, Merab Mamardashvili, is a Georgian philosopher. Unfortunately, he passed away. He gave another explanation. He said man is an artificial entity created from a biosubstance, but shaped by culture machines. Culture machines, the inadequate culture machines at our disposal. Therefore, I think that answering your question in terms of whether it will be catalytic development of the future or more or less a smooth one, I would say that depends on our ability to provide the relevant culture machines. If the culture machines will continue to work like they do today, practically debilitizing people, because when you watch today the television, I think that it's a disastrous effect what is going on. We have been born like a civilization of readers. The book was at the origin of our civilization. Today we're a civilization of TV watchers and internet surfers. And that's a big problem. I can continue talking about that because I'm really concerned with that. But I will give you one example of the impact of it. My friends told me they granddaughter, who is about 3 years old. So this girl saw a butterfly sitting on the outside window. So the baby, the kid, came to the window glass, and pitched from inside, trying to magnify it like on a computer. Yeah. I'm saying that because we are in real threat. The new generation is getting into this world sometimes with a very blurred distinction line between reality and virtual reality. And that totally distorts ethical framework of the people because, okay, if it is virtual reality, there is no ethics. So, okay, I don't want to go ahead, but the culture machines, that's important for our development. Thank you.
Realmente de altíssimo nível o nosso painel, mas infelizmente o nosso horário não permite mais extensão e eu vou, nesse momento, juntamente com o meu governador Wanderlei Chiesa, vamos entregar os diplomas. É uma maneira singela, muito humilde do Rotary de poder homenagear os nossos painelistas. O primeiro diploma que nós vamos entregar.
So, Paulo wants to give you some diplomas, just as a small gesture.
O primeiro que iremos entregar, evidentemente, é para o nosso anfitrião, Dr. Antônio Alvarenga. Eu peço que o meu governador, juntamente comigo, façamos essa entrega com o nosso muito obrigado pela SNA de ter nos acolhido e o carinho do Dr. Antônio Melo Alvarenga. Muito obrigado, Alvarenga. Muito obrigado. É singelo, mas é de todo o coração que fazemos essa homenagem a você e esse agradecimento. O segundo diploma nós temos registrado para o Dr. Professor Mohan Munassim. Pediria aos céus que levasse para o professor Munassim com o nosso abraço, né? E o nosso prazer de termos conversado e dialogado com ele. Por favor, faça entrega, Celso, com um abraço grande do Rotary, com o extremo orgulho e amor que nós dedicamos ao trabalho do professor Munassim.
Professor Mohan Munassim and that will give it to him in fine hands and with his extraordinary work.
O próximo diploma, meu governador também vai me ajudar a entregar, é para o presidente da Green Cross International, Dr. Alexander Licotal. Licotal, it's a great honor to be here in our event, the Rotary in Rio Plus 20. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
O próximo diploma é para uma pessoa muito especial que nos últimos 3, 4 meses se transformou num grande amigo, num amigo do coração, Adam Kudzinski. Eu passo às suas mãos com muito carinho esse diploma, esperando que você saiba que a nossa amizade começou agora, mas ela vai se perpetuar por long time. You are my friend, okay?
So Adam, this is a diploma for you, a special friend that we have met 3 months ago. And our partnership will be lasting longer than this.
Please, give it for Mr. Pierre Miller and a strong embrace for all the Rotarians in our district. I have a flag of Geneva, and is a great proud, okay? Give to Mr. Pierre Miller and a strong embrace for all the Rotarians.
It will be a pleasure. Thank you.
O último diploma é para mais do que um amigo, é um irmão de 35 anos, é uma pessoa que está junto comigo há muito tempo, em todos os grandes eventos que eu tive a honra e o prazer de participar, sempre conseguimos realizar aquilo que pudemos de melhor. E hoje não é diferente, e eu quero entregar a esse amigo não só esse diploma, mas o meu agradecimento sincero do coração, porque é um irmão, e eu faço questão de beijá-lo aqui